Gio. I thought he was coming on.
Good afternoon and welcome to Omnibroslive. I'm a little more lucid. You got a little more lucid Omnidog from Omnidog's Vault talking to you. I'm way more lucid than last Thursday. Here with co-host Gabe from Gabe Infinity Watch. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, buddy. Happy Father's Day to you and all the other Omni dads out there.
Happy Father's Day to you. Gio will be joining us as soon as he signs on. I know that he's going to be excited about one of the solicits that we're going to be talking about. We've got lots of solicits to talk about. We have to give a shout out. There's Gio right there. He's about to sign in right there.
My man.
There he is, Gio.
Happy Father's Day.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
And we always have to give a shout out to Jesse Say What, always first in the chat. As soon as he's alerted, boom, he's the first one in the chat. So good job, Jesse Say What. And always first in our hearts is the fabulous InStockTrades.com, where you can use your OmniBros code. This is the last day to use your OmniBros code, which is OmniDads for 3% off. I've used it not once, not twice, but 3 times. On Friday I used it.
Nice.
Yes, that may have been the prescription meds helping me along. I don't know. It could be. I like to spend money when I'm hopped up on medication. But right, InStockTrades.com, where you can get up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. The OmniDads discount code adds 3% to that. It doesn't stack, but it adds 3% to that. So that's a pretty healthy discount on something that's already 50% off.
Mm-hmm.
Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging, and if you order $50 or more in your order, you get it shipped free. How good is that? InStockTrades.com. We love them. They're our sponsor. So go to InStockTrades.com. Hopped up on drugs, bad father. My daughter's 28. She's already out there on her own.
She's already out there doing her own drugs.
Yeah, she's upstairs. She's making me dinner. We're going to play video games. And the whole family's going to watch Star Wars Rogue One because I've only seen it once. I want to see it again. And my wife hasn't seen it at all, so we want to see it again. I love that movie, so I want to see it again.
That's a good movie.
Yeah.
And I don't like Star Wars, but I like Rogue
I'm surprised to hear you say that.
That's like the only good film that's came out since the original trilogy.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
We need to write that down, Gio. Holy smoke.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. June 16th. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, there's Ethan. Ethan, how you doing, buddy? Ethan interviewed me on my first ever podcast.
Mm.
Was that before OmniBros or what?
No, this was like 6 weeks ago. About 6 weeks ago. I had never done a podcast before. Still my only podcast.
I was about to say, you do one 3 times a week.
Exactly.
Well, this is live YouTube, though. I mean, this was strictly a podcast.
Audio we had to Skype in.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. We've always talked about doing a OmniBros After Dark audio only podcast before.
where we get dark.
Yeah, where we get real. Where the OmniBros get real.
Where we don't have a sponsor.
Right.
We could talk about all the not safe for work books over there. Show them off.
Right.
In audio format.
Joe Chip wants to see the shirt I'm wearing. This is part of the Gabe designer shirt.
Oh.
This is where the Gabe fashion consulting comes into play. Any cool shirt that Gabe gets, he always texts me and lets me know.
I need to start wearing those shirts again. Now that I fit in them, so.
Mike Noah in the chat. Good to see you, buddy. Right there. Thank you. I am feeling better. Good to see you, Mike Noah. Great guy. We have a good chat going so far today. OmniBros After Dark screams Nick Munoz. Yes, it does.
Oh, that dude, he has to be on it.
Yeah.
And I would hit up Tyler Blandhost 420 or whatever his name is.
Blandhost 27, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I bet I'm gonna see him get a little angry or a little more not so chipper. Well, he's like the nicest, happiest guy I've ever seen in my life.
Tyler
and
is
it's super infectious, his enthusiasm. But I would like to see, those are the kind of guys where you think they're so nice, like they must be incredibly mean when it comes around. Like they must drown puppies or something.
I don't know. Tyler seems awfully nice through and through.
Or even Clark Nato.
Oh, Clark Nato's definitely got a dark side.
Or Ryan Sayce.
Ryan Sayce definitely has a dark side. Yeah. Clark Nato, I don't think you have to chip too far on Clark Nato to find his dark side. I think.
Oh no, he wears that on his sleeve.
Yeah, I think that's the secret, Captain. He's dark all the time.
Yes.
So we got a lot of news. What do you want to start with first? We got Solicitations. That was big. DC Solicitations.
Mm-hmm.
We got Rob Liefeld Twitter meltdown, which I spoke out about on my channel, which I thought was actually interesting. It led to an interesting discussion. We had a new Graphite app, which is a bunch of stuff like Boom and IDW available now on an app on your tablet for comics. What else do we have to talk about? Do we remember?
Isn't it
sure.
Jacked?
E3 was also this week. A lot of people excited about new video games. But let's start with the Graphite.
Okay, I downloaded that at your suggestion, Gio, and it's a pretty nice app. It does give you a lot. It's a deep app that gives you a lot of. First of all, it gives you access to Irredeemable on Boom, so I'm in favor of that. The one thing is, it's all free, but there's banner ads at the bottom of it, which you can get rid of by expanding it, but then you got to downspan it, if that's a word, to flip. So you can get it ad-free for $4.99 a month, which gets rid of the banner ad. So I don't know. That's going to be up to the individual whether or not they're so annoyed by the banner ads that they want to pony up $4.99 a month. That's an individual. That's going to be an individual decision. I thought it looked really good, and it had access to all kinds of comics. What did you think about it?
I think it has a really nice interface. I like the idea that it's all white. I don't like the logo or the little monster thingy that it has on the
for its logo. Yeah,
because it looks like a gaming app, like a mobile gaming app. I'm like, what is this? But no, it's a decent interface. You just scroll the images, left to right or right to left, whatever you want to do, because there's manga in there as well. But it's mostly indie-based comics from IDW, Boom. I think there's some Dark Horse in there. It's a nice alternative, and hopefully if people get into it and it can expand and people subscribe and all that stuff, they can maybe make a case for like, hey, big two companies, you can add your titles here, select titles. So it'd be pretty cool to read Marvel and DC stuff in here as well. But it's nice. I don't mind the banner because I'm from the era of like I'd listen to the radio. So what's another banner or two, another commercial? I could just skip it. But I can see some newer generation kids going like, I don't want no stupid banner. I'm going to pay the monthly fee. I think it's like $4 and get rid of that stuff. But it's a nice interface.
Yeah, it's called Graphite. It's a banner. It's an app for a lot of independent books like Boom. what does it cover? Boom, IDW. Was Dark Horse in there?
I think there are Dark Horse books. Let me check.
Let's see. I know I did it on my iPad. I don't know if it automatically went to my iPhone. I don't.
It has Archaea titles too, by the way, and Legendary Comics, Boombox, Dynamite, Tokyo Pop stuff, and I don't. Maybe I made that up, but yeah, it has more indie titles.
Okay, so this is Graphite, and so they're a bunch of. So Dynamite and Boom seem to be the two, and is IDW in there?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm seeing they have Mouse Guard, Irredeemable, Lock and Key. They got Crimson from Broom Studios, 28 Days Later, the Power Ranger stuff, Essex County. There are a bunch of cool titles here.
Essex County, it's a digital form, a way for Adam Maximilian to collect it in digital form. And as opposed to the 15 ways he already has it collected in printed format.
There you go. Klaus, Vampirella, My Little Pony, Rust, 30 Days of Night. What else is in here? Sonic the Hedgehog, Cyberforce, Ghostbusters. So yeah,
what Sonic the Hedgehog are you talking about?
From IDW.
Oh, the new one. Okay.
Yep.
I was hoping it was the Archie stuff. That'd have been amazing.
The Giant Days is in here as well.
Okay.
There are some webtoons, but I don't go into that area, so I don't know what webtoons they have.
Webtoons. Yeah. What are webtoons? Like web comics?
Yeah, but like animated.
Oh, animated stuff. Okay.
Yeah. But aside from that, I think it's a pretty solid idea. Their concept is like a Hulu or a Netflix thing where you can subscribe and have all the comics you want, like for one monthly fee. I think it's an interesting idea.
Okay. Good. Well, that's Graphite that we're talking about. If you're interested, Graphite has a good interface and lots of comics. And this has nothing to do with Graphite, but I'm looking at my shelves and I realize that I've got Doctor Strange filed under S. Should Doctor Strange be under D or S?
It technically is under D.
How's your layout?
Yeah, exactly.
How's my layout?
Yeah.
I mean, is the rest of your collection? Alphabetical? Is it?
Yeah. Well, I just moved.
What's the standard for the collection?
I just moved Spider-Man from Amazing Spider-Man down to Spider-Man, and I didn't know if Miles Morales. It's Miles Morales, the Ultimate Spider-Man, and I didn't know if that was M, U, or S. So I just decided that's S, Spider-Man, and so I moved him down to Roger Stern Spider-Man, Spider-Man versus Venom, and then that made me look at Doctor Strange, who's next to Spider-Man now, and I thought between Thor, and I thought, is that D?
No, he should be in
D. He should be in D? Okay.
Yeah, the title of that character, or the title of the book and everything is Doctor Strange.
Yeah, all right.
I don't know why it would be under S.
Well, because for Sorcerer Supreme, the big thing is Strange. It's like a teeny little doctor, and then it's a big Strange for Sorcerer Supreme. And then I just whacked in the big Doctor Strange Omnibus Silver Age, and it doesn't look right. It's right next to S.H.I.E.L.D. for some reason, which is, no.
I think you should put all your Doctor Stranges in one spot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. That helps.
And then for anybody that's been watching, you're welcome. Anybody watching, I put in the chat, and if you refresh the video, I updated our description. I have the link to Graphite Comics in the chat and in the description, so anybody can check out what Gio and Jess are talking about. Check that app out.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's Graphite
Thank
Comics.
you.
You know what? I'm looking at my collection. I had the Miles Morales under M. I might need to move that down to U.
Yeah, see, it could go 3 different places: Ultimate, Spider-Man, or Miles Morales. Spider-Man
I think
is
in the
big...
form. I think in the form of the storyline, it's a part of the Ultimate Spider-Man set or run or whatever you want to refer to an entire series. I need to put it down there next to Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 12.
Okay, that was my next question. Does it stay over with the Marvel Omnis, or does it go over to Ultimate Spider-Man collection?
Oh, that's the problem. That's right. Mine's set up by format.
I have all my Ultimate stuff together, so I would put it with the
I'm going to put Ultimates.
The Miles.
I'm going to put Miles Morales. I'm going to put Miles Morales next to Ultimate Spider-Man, Death of Spider-Man. That's where it belongs.
See that. Thank you, Alex B. I appreciate it. Thank you, Alex B. very much. You think all Spider-Man, Joe Chip, should be under S? Even the Amazing Spider-Man? See, I've got that to start off my collection.
Yeah, no, that won't look right because I have it the same way you do. Yeah, I have Amazing Spider-Man together. So I have Amazing Spider-Man 3, 4, Amazing Spider-Man, the Todd McFarlane, David McElhinney stuff.
Yeah.
And then the JMS Amazing Spider-Man. And then the Roger Stern, that's down there next to Silver Surfer. So that's under S for Spider-Man.
Right. Because it just says Spider-Man.
Right.
I just do cubes per character. I don't go alphabetical.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
For the Calyx, I'll have like an Aquaman, Batman, Spider-Man. Just bundled everything together.
Okay. Well, however you can find it. That's why I need to have... Riley said I could send him pictures of my X-Men stuff because my X-Men is all just bundled up like that. Like X-Men. It's not even... It should be in some kind of order. It's just like X-Men hardcovers and X-Men trade paperbacks. It's in X-Men order for Omnis, but it's not in any kind of order for hardcovers because I don't know what the order is for the soft covers and for the hardcovers. And so he said, just send him a picture and he'll arrange it for me, which would be great.
That sounds like fun. I think I want to see how other people have their books organized. So many people watching. Maybe if you have Instagram, follow us on Instagram, everybody. Omnibros Live on Instagram. Post a picture of what your collection order looks like.
Tag us.
And tag us. And we'll take a look at it. That might be a good idea. That might be a good idea for like a topic on Instagram is how do you organize multiple characters who have multiple titles and omnibuses are
I think that's a good idea for a show too.
Yeah.
We could easily get off on a tangent right this second for the rest of the show.
We just did.
We
just turning into that for sure.
We're having to corral ourselves.
Interior geeky design. That's the title of it.
Well, this is the thing: is everybody has it different. You know, everybody has their different opinion. I've rearranged my collection probably 4 different times in the last like 2 years or so, and organized them differently. And not that any one way is right or wrong.
It's however,
but it's interesting to see.
Yeah,
it's interesting how people have theirs laid out and what makes sense to them in their mind. Because mine used to be all mixed together, like Marvel, DC. It was all organized by, it still kind of is in the indie section, organized by publisher. But now mine is split up into the 3 different Kalaxes where it's indie stuff, Marvel, and DC. Where before it used to be all mixed in. I used to have hardcovers, soft covers, oversized hardcovers, all together. Like it just went alphabetically. And then I did it before where it went by storyline. So like Annihilation Quest, and the War Kings books would all be mixed together because that was one storyline.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But now mine is by format and by title.
Nice.
So It'll be interesting to see what other people have their setup as, because Geo says his is all done by character.
I do a lot of.
Is it alphabetically by character?
Sentences? Ethan Ainsworth. You don't really notice until you edit an hour and a half of him talking, but Jess does a lot of lip smacking between sentences. I do? I didn't ever notice that. This is the first time in 60 years anybody's ever told me that, Ethan. A lot of
now I just want to keep listening for lip smacks.
Yeah, now I want to know what that is. Like, am I actually licking my lips? Or am I, like, smacking my...
I got an idea.
Okay.
Do an ASMR video with all that stuff. Millions of people are going to flock in, and you're going to get that YouTube cash money, guaranteed. New business venture.
I wonder what I'm doing.
I have no idea.
Lip smacking. Maybe it's that. Because I don't drink anything. I try. Yeah, because I try not to drink anything. When I'm on the air, so I think maybe my I get dry, and sometimes I go like that. Well, enough about me, but that's interesting. Dry lips. ETL says he always found it sexy. Well, I appreciate that, ETL. Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Oh, nice.
Well, I've gone through a major, as Gabe calls it, cultivating. I mean, I've been pulling tons of books out and donating them and selling them and doing all kinds of things. So there's huge spaces now that need to be filled in my collection. This is just on the Marvel Omnibus side. And so I'm yanking out. I used to have it, like Gabe was saying, where I have like Guardians of the Galaxy Omnibus and like Ms. Marvel Omnibus, and then the Ms. Marvel hardcovers next to the Omnibus. But now I'm yanking everything out that's not Omnibus, and I'm putting them down in the oversized hardcover section. So that's freeing up more space, and now I need to. I mean, it's a big.
Buy more books.
Well, I've got a kind of a it's like a boa constrictor. There's a big there's a bunch of things up there that need to be spread out up at the top, and there's a big gap down here, so everything needs to be spread out down here, and then I need to get going on the OHC side. And then there's Big Damn Sin City, which I don't have a place for anywhere but on the Marvel KLAX, because there's no place else for it to go. It doesn't even belong there. Maybe I should find a place.
Sin City in Marvel?
Well, there's no place else for it to go.
That's crazy.
I know.
That's crazy.
I know.
All right. So speaking of things, of ways for Jess to fill in the gaps in his collection now.
Yes.
That kind of brings us to all the big DC solicitations that came out this week.
Ooh, yeah.
I was not expecting that at all.
Yeah, this is a very unusual set of books that they announced in the omnibus side of things for DC. So what I'm referring to is we'll just talk about it. I'm not going to screen share or anything like that. There's too much on here to really look at for screen sharing, I think. Unless you guys have a better idea. But DC's recent solicitation, this is for books coming out. It says September, but that's mainly in regards to the single issue comics that are coming out. Omnibuses, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, especially Omnis, they solicit these things way, way, way in advance. Sometimes, as you'll see here, or that we'll talk about here, up to a year in advance for the solicitation of these books. And that's all based on getting correct order numbers and the time to print these massive, massive tomes. But yeah, so let's get started on that. I think we're going to save... Actually, no. I want to do Gio's first. I want Gio to be excited. Let's get Gio excited about this announcement. I would usually start at the bottom because the way they list it on like Newsarama, like the solicitations are always at the very bottom. It comes down to like the omnibuses and hardcovers. So first up is Aquaman. Silver Age Aquaman Omnibus Volume 1 came out.
Yeah.
This is
okay, like that's yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No. This is all you.
I was just gonna say
all your books.
I cannot contain my excitement over it. Just the idea that finally original OG Aquaman stuff is finally getting collected in any sort of form, because the only thing we had was the black and white newspaper type quality books, the Showcase Presents, all that stuff.
Oh,
and
man.
those are horrible. I hate those books.
Yeah.
I hate them with a burning passion. Like if I would get a root beer, I would pour it on those books. Nobody should buy them. But now we finally have an omnibus, and it collects Silver Age Aquaman and his original stuff from the Golden Age, all in one neat little book. Most of it, actually. So I'm really, it's awesome. I can't. Don't the chat better be cool. Don't tell me it's going to get canceled because I'm going to throw a hissy fit. It's awesome. I love it.
I think my particular feeling is I think that cancellation thing is done with now. I think they've got their collected editions department in order. I think that it's all they kind of like cleared the table, they reset, they rebooted, and now they're starting fresh. I don't think we're going to get any more cancellations. I think these are fresh, new things, and this is how they're going forward. And I think that this is how they're starting. They're starting up again, and I don't think we're going to see any more cancellations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I really believe that. I think now they're going. I understand what happened at the beginning of the year, and I get it, but I don't think we're going to see that anymore.
So hopefully DC has learned their lesson and are handpicking better books to collect.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Aquaman is a solid bet. I think it's definitely going to be printed, and you're going to get it, and I'll get it.
Yeah,
that Silver Age stuff is fun.
Some awesome Ramona art in there. I love her drawings, and I'm looking at the stuff that's collecting, and most of it is from the Golden Age, except for the first 18 issues of Aquaman's first volume run, which was 60 something issues. So I assume volume 2 will collect most of this volume 1.
Okay.
Yeah, it should lead up to the book that was released last year, Search for Mira, the deluxe edition. It was oversized, so hopefully it pairs up with that. And if I have to double dip, I will be happy to double dip and get it. So yeah, but yeah, 1,000 pages, and it's coming out in March. I'm really excited about it.
That's good. That's really good. That's good that Aquaman's getting some love.
Finally, only took him almost 80 years.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the only other like oversized omnibus we have for Aquaman is the Jeff Johns Ivan Race stuff, right?
Yeah. We only have that omnibus and the Rebirth one that they released, which was a cash grab with Sedgwick's artwork. It's in the middle of the Rebirth run. It makes no sense.
Right.
They just wanted to put Sedgwick's art in an oversized format. I don't own it simply because it's a cash grab. I didn't pick it up. I don't want to support that stuff.
Yeah.
But that's it.
That's good, man. Vote with your money.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then moving on, like I said earlier, this is a very odd batch of solicitations from DC. It's all silver and golden age omnibuses for the most part. So, if you're a fan of that stuff, if you were worried that that line was going to go away with the rearranging of deck chairs that happened, you have nothing to worry about, because now we also have Batman Golden Age Omnibus Volume 8.
Well, that's
I don't think
good.
anybody here gets the Golden Age stuff, right?
I'm not getting it anymore, but that gets us closer to the Silver Age, which is good. Get us closer to the Silver Age. Silver at the beginning of the Bronze Age.
How many
Has there
books
not been a Silver Age omnibus for Batman?
Yeah.
No, not as far as not these official things. No, just these Golden Age. I think it goes up. I think we need at least 9 and 10 for Golden Age before we can get to Silver. I think still.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. Because I think they feel like the Golden Age for Batman went till like 1955, and then Silver was like, this is just me guessing, but I think they feel like Silver went till like 71, and then that was the big, or maybe even early 70s for Bronze. So I'm not even sure when DC thinks the Bronze Age started. I guess we'll find out, but they may think the Bronze Age started in like mid 70s. So they may have 20 years worth of Silver Age books to go.
Wow. Good luck to anybody collecting all that stuff.
Yeah, I think I finally had to stop on Batman and Superman. As much as I would have collected all of it as a kid, I just looked at the huge amount of that Golden Age stuff for Batman and Superman, and just I had to stop.
You would need like a huge Billy just for the Golden Age and Silver Age stuff. It's insane.
You're not wrong, because they've got, they put out a ton of that stuff, like Doom Patrol and Suicide Squad and Adam Strange. They put out an awful lot of good Silver Age stuff already that I really like. In omnibus format. So, I mean, I'm happy as far as the Silver Age goes. I'm not complaining. And Brave and Bold, they put out World's Finest. So, I'm not complaining at all, which might surprise some people.
Well, speaking of Doom Patrol, they also announced a John Byrne Doom Patrol omnibus.
And I don't even know, but I knew
no
he did
information
that.
about.
I didn't even know he did that.
Yeah. What else was there? Oh, here we go. Some Bronze Age stuff. Here we got House of Mystery Bronze Age Volume 2.
That's cool.
And this one, this is the only one I'm slightly interested in. This is really a big swerve. This came out of left field. Jonah Hex Bronze Age omnibus.
That is not only a day one purchase, that is a day one read. I was so into that as a teenager. He was so great. That was so well written stuff back then. Weird Western Tales. I can't wait. That is going to be great. Because if it sells well, and I hope it does, that leads the way for the All-Star Western and the Jonah Hex by Palmiotti and Gray to be published, which would be really great.
That is some extremely underrated comic books, right?
I agree 100%.
And those trade paperbacks, I think they're basically all out of print. They're not like whale status or anything like that, but you're not going to you can't just find them anymore.
Right, you have to piece those together. You've had to piece those together for a while.
And that was such a good series too. And now we're going to get off on a tangent. I'm fine with it because I love Jonah Hex.
Awesome.
That entire run of the Palmiotti Gray stuff was more or less single issue stories. So it really brought you back to the fun age of comic books where you can get a whole story, a good whole story out of one comic, one issue, and have a complete story, beginning, middle, end. And there was really no continuity. You could just pick a book up and read it. They had different artists. Darwin Cook did some work on there. I'm trying to think who else, but it's mainly Palmiotti and Gray, but they always had a couple of guest artists filling. I think Jeff Lemire did an issue as well. Stuff like that. So that's really good. Even his Bronze Age stuff is fun. That's probably some of the first comics I ever stumbled across with this old Western stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What else we got? I'm trying to find out the other Omnis that came out this week or been announced.
They also announced
Was that it? Was it just Full Score?
Day Tripper, the Absolute, is coming back.
That's good. So that's what makes me think none of this stuff's going to get canceled.
It was canceled, then resolicited. So now it's coming out in April 2020.
It comes out April Fool's Day too. So
oh boy,
maybe this whole thing
April
is
Fools.
one big April Fool's joke.
It's just an announcement. No books.
Are those ETL asks? Are those old Jonah Hex books that will be in that Omni be good, Jess, or will it be a little dated? Well, they're Westerns, so I happen to think Westerns kind of they're weird Western tales, so they have a little bit of spookiness to them. But I'll be honest, I haven't read them, in 30 years, so you may want to wait. That'll definitely be a day one purchase, day one overview, day one read, so I can read and review it as soon as I get it. So you may want to wait, but I think the Westerns kind of hold up more than other things. Like West genre stuff, I think holds up better than other stories like science fiction and Westerns. I think they hold up a little bit better. Like 50s science fiction and 50s Westerns tend to hold up better than other stories of that era, depending on the hook in the story. So my guess is that it will hold up. I just remember Jonah Hex had to go through an awful lot of ostracism and prejudice and things like that back then due to how he looked and what his past was. So I think they will hold up, but I don't know that. I mean, you may want to wait until I get it and review it before you put out the money yourself.
Now, if it's the Palmiotti Gray stuff, it'd be like, yes, instant buy.
Oh, well, yeah. Palmiotti Gray.
About.
Yeah, no. The All-Star Western and the Jonah Hex by Palmiotti and Gray, that's an instant buy for anybody. I could recommend that. Yeah, Gabe.
Yeah, but I think you're right about Western. I think it being outdated is the appeal when it comes down to things like Westerns. And science fiction, same way, but in the reverse, where the technology is so advanced, it doesn't really hold any standards to today. It's kind of like I've been watching Smallville on Hulu lately, or even anything from I've also at work, we've been watching Twilight Zone, or we've had Twilight Zone on the TV, and you start seeing the old technology in there, that's when things start to feel dated.
Yeah.
But with the Westerns, that lack of technology in that time frame is kind of the appeal of the story or the appeal of the genre. Now I'm going to go watch Young Guns, listen to some Bon Jovi.
Bon Jovi.
Yeah, so that's it for the DC solicits, I guess. We went through all that fun stuff.
That's really it. I don't feel like we talked more than about 5 or 6 books. Was that it?
That's it for the Omnis and the Absolutes. Yeah.
Yeah, the rest was just regular stuff for regular hardcovers for new stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, Superman Red Sun is getting a new printing.
Naomi is getting a hardcover.
Superman Red Sun's getting a new printing and hardcover?
The trade paperback.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wildstorm from Warren Ellis, Volume 4.
Yeah, they're reprinting the Young Justice, at least the first book. Those Young Justice trade paperbacks are super hard to find and are crazy, crazy expensive. So this kind of brings up a good talking point. I hope they reprint that whole series because that was a really, really good. If you're a fan of the Young Justice cartoon, this is a really good, kind of offshoot of that series. But really cool artwork by Mike Norton. Mike Norton's the guy that does Battle Pug and stuff like that. But that's a good series. But man, those things are hard to find. They're like $100 trade paperbacks right now.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Uh,
Superman Volume 1, Bendis's Superman's getting a trade paperback. I think that already came out once as a standard hardcover, right?
Yeah. Justice League Dark Volume 2. I'm pretty excited about that because it's very heavy on Dr. Fate, which is one of my favorite characters.
Mm-hmm.
Doomsday Clock is getting the first hardcover, which is the first 6 issues of Doomsday Clock.
I'm excited, but I'm going to wait for like the 12 issues to be collected.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I'm not. I'll probably read it this way, but if I'm going to own any of it, it's going to be the complete series in one book.
They also
and that's
have
it for that, right?
They also had the Crisis book. Hold up, let me see if I can find it. Crisis on Infinite Earths Companion Deluxe Edition Volume 3 hardcover. That's a lot. So if you collect those, you're going to have Volume 3 as well.
And then what's this just about your buddy Rob Liefeld blowing up on Twitter?
Oh, my buddy. Let me just say, Ethan Ainsworth, if you folks are interested, the episode of my podcast with Jess will be up today, nights, a Marvel podcast on iTunes and Google Play and so forth. Ethan is extremely young, but extremely knowledgeable. I was very impressed with how much knowledge this guy had about everything. And despite my lip smacking, I had a great time on his show. So if you want to listen to that podcast, we talked about the Vision hardcover and about a bunch of other stuff. And it was a lot of fun. So I really enjoyed talking about comics with Ethan. Oh yeah, Rob Liefeld. So he wrote a couple of 2 or 3 tweets, 4 or 5 tweets regarding DC circling the drain. Like he thought DC was really imploding, that he was getting his popcorn, going to watch DC circle the drain. He knew it was going to cost him. He knew the tweets were possibly going to cost him some business. He didn't care. So apparently the backlash was so bad that he got off Twitter the next day. He closed his Twitter account. I don't. It was a whole bleeding cool article. Actually, I just had it up so I can read it to you. I can read you the tweets in just a sec because I just had it up yesterday. Rob Liefeld predicts the collapse of DC Comics soon.
You know what? I challenge that. He's not the one that predicted it. That was us, last week, talking about AT&T's influence over Warner Brothers.
That is true. We talked about it before he did. Yeah, wait. So why am I even talking about it?
Also,
what's that?
Also, Rob, if you're gonna go off the grid and delete Twitter, do it. But no, he's still on Twitter, so whatever.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay, well, we were the ones that said AT&T was driving DC into the ground, but he was the one that made a more of a louder noise about it based on his standing in the community. DC Comics going to drive off a cliff here real soon. Got to get my popcorn. I ain't never seen a company in as much disarray as DC Comics. Thank God they have Batman to act as their Tylenol, aspirin, laughing gas. quote, more Batman will fix it, unquote. When superstar comic book writer and movie pitchman Mark Millar defended DC, he said, Mark, you're reading your DC Best of the 80s collection again. Happens to me sometimes. I understand my DC honesty will cost me a potential opportunity, but who cares? Come on, they should fire everybody in management and refresh. Batman will still be there for the next group. I did a video on it, and my opinion is it's not DC management. It's the problem. Of course, it's that it's AT&T management is the issue. It's not DC is just accepting what the bean counters in AT&T are telling them to do. It's not Warner Brothers that's canceling the second season of Swamp Thing and Doom Patrol. It's AT&T telling them it's too expensive to do it and telling them that Titans is the one that's going to get renewed because that has Batman in it showing up next year instead of Doom Patrol, which is apparently the greatest comic book show ever, getting a renewal like it deserves. You get this halfway decent, maybe, Titans show that's going to get a Batman appearance, and it's that's strictly a corporate decision seen from a bird's eye view a mile high and not boots on the ground seeing what the fans see type of decision. If you're on the ground seeing what a fan sees, you're going to see that the fans love Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing, don't particularly care for Titans, and you want to put your money behind Doom Patrol and Swamp Thing and not make up something like we couldn't afford to do Swamp Thing because we didn't get a tax credit from North Carolina, that what really amounts to pocket change for a company like AT&T. That's just not true. And I mean, Liefeld's, the only part Liefeld's wrong about is that DC's going to disappear. It's not going to disappear because it's a multi-billion-dollar characters that are always going to be there. But I mean, they could be made mediocre enough so that people care less by a company that overreacts to Batwang and things like that. And Second Coming, the cancellation of that Second Coming comic, they could be made less relevant. And yeah, we actually, Gabe's right. We made these observations last week. So
yeah, I mean, because we compared it to how when Disney took over Marvel, Disney's done more to promote Marvel. You know, they got Marvel Land, they got these movies that came out recently. They've never really seemed to have dipped their toes and did any kind of influence or interference with the publishing side of things. But take that and reverse it for DC with AT&T, like you said, Bat Dick, the Batwing, the Batman Dam caused a big stir. That was nothing. It was never really a big deal. It just, things got blown out of proportion, and it's kind of just, the more they tried to do damage control, the more popular that little thing became, and it scared them. And they canceled the Second Coming, which is supposed to be like a book about Jesus, where Jesus probably wasn't going to be shown in the best kind of light. A little controversial. Things like that is showing that AT&T is influencing the publishing side. And like you said, I don't think DC's ever going to go away, but I can see like the comics maybe taking a hit, and maybe one day in the future it'll be just an IP generator like it's been lately, but it's going to mainly be just about the movies and the TV stuff and the comics. I hate to say it, but you know, there might be a world out there where the comic books are gone, where DC's there as a company, but it's no longer a publishing company as much as it is an entertainment company.
I don't know.
I hope not.
Anything's possible. I don't actually know.
But then think about Vertigo's going away. That they're combining all that or transitioning all that into the new Black Label line, which is again a line that was supposed to kind of be like a new Vertigo, but you can't be a new Vertigo if you're afraid to let these guys do slightly controversial thought-provoking comic books and storylines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and something I meant to address in my video yesterday that I didn't, that I forgot about. Patty Jenkins, director of Wonder Woman, wanted to show a clip at San Diego Comic-Con this year about Wonder Woman. Wanted to show a trailer, and AT&T said no. And I haven't been able to dig into that and research that more. But Patty Jenkins is, to Warner Brothers right now, probably the most important person in the world. And why you would say no to her about wanting to show a trailer at San Diego is mind-boggling. They should back up the truck and fill it full of cash or chocolate chip cookies or whatever she wants to her house, and then give her a limo ride to San Diego and say, whatever you want, Ms. Jenkins. And it's mind-boggling that they wouldn't give her permission to show a clip of Wonder Woman at San Diego. It is just mind-boggling to me they wouldn't let her do that.
I think it's probably, or maybe because the company as a whole won't be showing anything, so maybe they just didn't want, like, I know it's a stupid decision, but like one particular director to show something off when the publicity campaign is supposed to start at the end of the year. So maybe that's why.
You can rationalize. Oh, okay, that's fine. You can rationalize it however you want. But if Patty Jenkins, I don't care, man. If Patty Jenkins wants a specialized diet and some guy to come in and cut up her food for her every meal, I'm doing it. I mean, if I'm the head of AT&T, I'll come in and do it for her personally. I'll cut up her food for her personally. She's that important to me.
And you know how things are messed up when you get Swamp Thing canceled, a show that's produced by the director of your highest selling movie of all time, and you cancel it and you don't even give a solid explanation as to why. Because James Wan didn't really understood why they canceled the whole thing, because he had like a 3-season plan and a whole bunch of other ideas for Swamp Thing.
And they're apparently going to be phasing out that DC app and probably just merging it all in with the Warner Brothers app. So there's that too. That's really just, I mean, you're spreading all this stuff kind of thin. You're like, here it is. No, it's over here. You're moving things around. You dedicated this DC app that had comic books on it, had every DC animated movie, every regular DC movie, all the TV shows. And what's going to happen to all that is the comic books site still going to be there on the Warner Brothers app. Now you're going to be charging more because you're going to get more out of it with all the Warner Brothers movie. But that's really kind of just segregating, taking the comic book fans who were there for the comic books and the comic book characters kind of out of that by charging them more to get access to that stuff that they wanted in the first place. So we'll have to just kind of sit back and see what happens. But you know what? Good for Rob for speaking up his mind and saying what he had to say. That took some guts. He's crazy, but that took some guts.
Okay. Anything else before I talk about InStockTrades.com and the last day to use your 3% OmniBros discount code?
Before we do and talk about our wonderful sponsor, I don't think we ever mentioned the Wonder Woman poster. And our thoughts on it. I know it's something minor, but what do you guys think?
Minor, it's awesome. I thought it was awesome.
I think.
Do you want to screen share it so everybody can see it?
I'm too lazy to do that. I'll just get the picture on my phone. Hold on.
All right.
Let me get it. But here's my theory. If you go to Twitter on, say, Patty Jenkins and all that stuff, and you look at the banner that she's using, it leaves space for more characters. So I am assuming that it's going to be like a wallpaper of the cast, of the main cast, with Cheetah and Steve Trevor and whoever the main villain, because there's going to be another villain. I don't know. I'm pretty sure everybody has they've seen it, but and my phone's not working.
What? I've
Hold
got
up.
this focused on you.
You're focused on me? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. No pressure.
The IST code
see.
Goom is OmniDads.
That's come on, phone. You can look at my face instead, because it's wonderful.
There we go. Wait a sec.
Yeah, it's a little blurry, but you can sort of see what they're going with that beautiful 80s aesthetic that I love. It's pretty wonderful. And she's got like this super armor that I don't know. I know the movie's going to be more magic heavy, magic based.
It is?
Maybe that's what I've read. Steve Trevor's going to be back in that movie, so I assume it's either going to be an illusion or something magic related to explain why he's there. Because spoilers, he didn't make it.
Yeah, I thought he died back in 1970 or something.
Yeah. I cannot wait to see Cheetah, and hopefully, what's this girl's name? Cersei? The magic villain? Yeah. I forgot her name. Yeah. I think she's going to be in that movie. Maybe. That's my hunch. We'll see.
That poster to me with the armor that she's wearing looks very New Gods to me. Looks very Big Barda-like.
Yeah, you can tie that.
So I'm hoping. I've been waiting for New Gods for a long time. I mean, they mentioned the old gods in the first Wonder Woman movie.
Well,
I think that they're
writing a New Gods movie, so maybe there's going to be a nod to it in this.
I'm hoping that'd be awesome. That's what they really need. I think is some new, fresh characters in the DC movie universe.
Yeah,
everybody just we've had plenty of Batman and Superman. Give me some Scott Free. Give me some Darkseid. Give me some Big Barda. Let me see these new characters come in and turn into cultural phenomenons and become everybody's new favorite characters. I want a New Gods t-shirt. I want New Gods merchandise. I want to give me a Mother Box toy already or something cool like that. So I'm ready for it.
Yep, we do have one.
Yeah,
that's true.
You guys got those ones, man. I'm jealous. They're cool.
Mine, I'm doing a little I can't show it right now, but I'm doing a little crossover thing. I have my box with Silver Surfer on top of it, next to Thanos. So it's a mishmash of companies.
Yeah, the one Just has is really cool.
Oh, so cool.
Or you guys both had the same one, yeah. I want when it opens up boom tubes though, or boom tubes.
Yeah, we need more New Gods merchandise. They've always been, even though they're so important, I do believe they're heavily underrated when it comes to the marketing and I don't know, DC's plans and stuff. There should be more stuff out there, I think.
Right. I think it's time to do some unusual characters, kind of the same way Marvel did with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and see how popular that became.
Yeah.
Oh.
Awesome.
I got boom tube out of here. Okay. InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions up to 50% off. Loyalty discounts add 2% to that. OmniDads is your OmniBros code that adds 3% to that. It does not stack with the 2%, but it adds 3% to that. Over $50 in an order gets you free shipping in the US of A. Fabulous customer service, fabulous packaging. That's InStockTrades.com.
Nice.
How does it smell? Does it look like I was smelling it? Smells like New Gods.
Just admiring the awesomeness.
Yeah.
That's what I would say.
That's right. So, Gio, where can they find you?
You can find me on my channel, A Week in Geekdom, where I talk about anime, manga, comics, and all that nerdy stuff. A Week in Geekdom.
And Gabe, where can they find you?
You can find me, Gabe Infinity Watch, on Instagram. You can follow Omnibros Live on Instagram as well. And I'm in the Omnibus Collectors Facebook group.
The code ends tonight, Ian Hobbs, at 11:59 p.m.
Don't wait till the last second. Just do it now.
Do it now. Don't wait till tonight. Yeah, the code ends tonight. And Gabe's working hard on that Instagram, so please go check it out. The OmniBros Instagram. And you can find me, Omnidog, on Omnidog's Vault on YouTube and Omnidogs_Vault on Instagram. Thank you for watching. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to everybody that watched. I appreciate it. Peace and love. Peace and love.